So Cody McMahon, she is the person that's trying to somehow insert herself into the Caitlin Clark rivalry story. And you know what? She's done a good job of it. She is a player for Ohio State. If you guys know anything about Caitlin Clark and Ohio State, that was the rivalry. That was the rivalry for her in college. It wasn't Caitlin Clark versus LSU. I think from listening to the podcast, she did not like Nebraska either. But it was not like, it was not Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. It was not Caitlin Clark Page. It was not Caitlin Clark versus South Carolina. It was not Caitlin Clark Raven Johnson. It was Caitlin Clark versus Ohio State. Her and JC Sheldon. You can tell Caitlin Clark makes it her mission to cook JC Sheldon every time they face the Dallas Wings. And I can almost guarantee you Caitlin Clark is setting her career high against the Connecticut Sun this year. Caitlin Clark versus JC Sheldon was a real Big Ten matchup. Heck, like, do you guys not remember that video that used to be on the channel that I ended up having to take down because I'm not even going into that, about the TikTok live where there were people on it that argued that JC Sheldon was better than Caitlin Clark? That like listed off all the reasons why JC Sheldon was better than Caitlin Clark. Heck, we've even had when Caitlin Clark won Big Ten Player of the Year, the Caitlin Clark haters go mad saying it was JC Sheldon, and then Caitlin Clark has proceeded to destroy JC Sheldon, put 30 and 17 assists on JC Sheldon's head 2 years ago, and then in the WNBA, set the all-time assist record on JC Sheldon, and then set her career high on JC Sheldon. But Cody McMahon, obviously she's talking about how Iowa have disrespected Ohio State, and all this big talk before the game was saying it's personal when we play Iowa, all this stuff. And you know what? They got real up for that game. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love sports rivalries. I love sports rivalries when they're personal. I absolutely love it. I love when players, like, it's never, because even if you're saying it's personal, it's never really personal. Like, it's not on a person-to-person basis. It is just some team stuff. And you want to go out and destroy them. Like, I use a damn anecdote. Like, I've won a under 20s national championship in Ireland. We played a national championship final. And we were like undersized team. No one thought we had a chance. And our opponents, their club, put up a banner with nothing on it and posted it saying before the cup final. So our team, we are going in like wanting to kill the other team. We beat them by 20. And we were like, you could even see the fans of our team chanting, sorry, it was a plaque, not a banner, chanting, take the plaque down. It became like a genuine heated thing. I'm really good friends with guys on the other team that we played against. I was good friends. We all wanted to kill them on that day. So it's personal, but it's never really personal. And that's great for sports. It is great for sports when teams do not like each other on the field. It is. It's very different when it's like people have personal issues with each other. Anything that goes from, like, even the stuff that Caitlin Clark did, it would make you want to beat them. It very rarely wants to make you hate someone as a person. If it does, it does. But, yeah, it was a huge game. And Cody McMahon was brilliant. But, yeah, they obviously took off too fast. They tried to sprint the marathon. This tournament is a marathon, not a damn sprint, and they tried to sprint the freaking marathon. It was one of the funniest games I've ever seen. It was them against UCLA. It was so bad. Like, they were so bad. They were down 40. Like, till the fourth quarter, they were down 40. And I'm watching it, I'm like, what is going on? What is this team? And anyone being like, oh, Iowa would have been beaten by that much. Man, Iowa lost UCLA by 2. Iowa have beat USC. Iowa have not lost a game by more than 10 points. And that was once against Tennessee. Since that Tennessee game, they have not lost a game by, I think, is it 8 points? They've lost, 8's the most they've lost by. Everyone has lost is single digits. Iowa are, like, while they're not the best team in the world, they're very, very good at kind of grinding you down. They don't give up. They play hard. Like, I still think UCLA beat Iowa. I don't think Iowa win that game, but it is most 10 in that. Just based on historic precedent. But this was so funny. I've never seen a team only care about the quarterfinal. Like, Ohio State You could see with the way they played against Iowa, they only cared about that Iowa game. That Iowa game was personal. And I watched a bit of the UCLA game. You could see from the second they stepped on the floor, they checked out. They did not, like, not that they didn't want to be there, but UCLA were there to win it all. Iowa State were there being like, just playing it like it's a normal game. Like, Iowa State's game 7 was against Iowa, especially because Caitlin Clark's sitting in that crowd. And Cody McMahon, again, Cody McMahon's a really good player. Cody McMahon as a freshman literally went and made the All Big Ten tournament team when they were in the final against Caitlin Clark. Like, she's a serious player. Didn't look like a serious player against UCLA. Like, Cody McMahon looked great against Iowa when she was really with there. They then go and lose by 40. Like, it's funny. For me, it's just funny watching a team be out there and you're like, they literally, all they have to do is just show up and play. What they're meant to do is they're meant to pace themselves. All they have to do is show up and play. They have to show up and play and pace themselves. That's how you're meant to do these tournaments. You're playing 3 games in 3 days. It's a damn marathon. It is a marathon. You have to pace yourselves. And this team had the depth to do it. They had a bench. They had size. And suddenly it's all of that's out the window because beating Iowa was the only thing that mattered to them. And it is, as somebody who has become a de facto fan of Iowa, it is hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. And I'm sorry, anyone saying, oh, you're just hating. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It is great watching your rivals lose. I won't even say the name. I'm a Leeds fan. I won't even say the name of the red side of Manchester. I won't even say their name. I love watching them lose. There's only one thing I like more than watching Leeds win, and it's watching them lose, which has been great this season because we're winning a lot and they're losing a lot. Although we're falling apart again, which is grand, because every rival team chance Leeds are falling apart again every time they play Leeds. That's sports. That's sports. You want your team to win. You want your rivals to lose. And that's the good thing about being a fan. And that's why people stick with sports. That's honestly why people stick with sports. As a de facto fan of Fever, it's great watching the Chicago Sky lose. It is. Not because of anything personal against the players, but it's just what being a fan of sports is about. And it's great watching them lose by 40. But for the totality of the sport, for the grand scheme of things, it was great that Cody McMahon went and called out Iowa. It was great that Ohio State, it was personal for them and they went out and tried to kill Iowa. That's good for the game of basketball. It just is. Rivalries are good. Players caring are good. And that's the reason why I'm watching so much more of NCAA basketball. And since we've really gotten down into the big, business end of the season in conference play in the tournaments, whereas Unrivaled, for me, outside of the Lunar Owls and the Rose, and by the way, Angel Reese is doing a great job in Unrivaled, because she's pissing off every single rival player and wants to make them kill her. And I don't mean kill her off the court. I mean, drop 30 on her. Every rival player wants to do that now, which is great. And yeah, it's also great to see a rival team lose by 40. So anyway, I'll see you guys.